Hello, everyone. This is Melissa Kay, your instructor in Educational Technology 603. This short video will give you two models for completing annotation and curation assignments and also provide you with some additional information about the whys and hows of completing your annotation and curation assignments. As you can see from this picture, which is a museum of natural history, a lot of times when we think about curation, we think about arranging art or different historical specimens or things like that in a way that the audience can actually understand and move through a physical space. In our class, we're actually creating curations that will help you to share information with your colleagues or your classmates or other folks. So for our purposes, the curation is the curation of digital resources, which could include websites, videos, or other kinds of informational sources. The annotation provides information about the specific resource, and the curation provides information about the set of resources. So it would be a very rare case where we would curate one video or one website. What we would do is put those resources together, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources, and then curate them as a set. I'm going to show you two students' work from the current module and talk a little bit about each and what works from this model. So to start with, we have Michael's assignment. This was from the Core of the Story, Annotation and Curation. And Michael started off with his discussion post, including the curation. So he says, the common theme for my three videos is art. More specifically, how do you use art in the classroom and the importance of it in education? So right away, we know that he's going to discuss something in particular, and all of the resources that are included in his set of curated videos or other resources all have to do with art, and they all have to do with the importance of art in the classroom and in education. So he's very nicely narrowed down his topic, and then he talks about the three different videos. First video is a rap song, second video is an overview of a short story, and the third video summarizes the topic in general. Then he includes in the second paragraph a very nice little coda about selecting the theme because art motivates students, and we should encourage teachers to use art in the classroom. So he very nicely, in two paragraphs, summarizes what his curated set of resources is. And then at the bottom, as you can see with the hashtags, he includes three different tags. So the curation ultimately should come first, and then the annotated videos or other resources come after that. So then we go to his actual annotation, close out of that, and he has three videos, and he's done this very, very simply. He made a table with two columns and a number of rows. You'll notice that he has general information all together. I like this because it doesn't take up so much time, and anyone who's looking at the videos and says, well, I have 4 minutes to show a video, can see right away, well, this is 8.5 minutes long, so maybe I'm not going to want to use this. He has the topic, the author and credentials, because we always want to credit our sources, the URL, where to reach this particular resource, date of publication, because often we'd like to know, is this contemporary, is it older, does that matter for our purposes, and the type of piece. Then he goes on to a summary. Notice his summary is pretty short, but his analysis and reflection is actually a little bit longer. So for our purposes, we want an analysis that actually says something meaningful and relevant about the video. So Michael says that, he uses art to introduce the topic of narrative structure. And then he speaks about the video in more detail. There's a song in the background, there's lyrics. This gives us an understanding of why the artist chose the song. And then the teacher talks throughout the whole video. He actually digs into not only the content of the video, but that's important, but also the structure of the video and how it was put together. He says the sound is not the best and we can hear a lot of echo in the audio. Another thing that could be improved on is the length. I think the author could cut at least 3 minutes. So he's saying not only what's in it and how it's put together, but how it might be changed and some drawbacks. It's, as long as you are very respectful about how you're presenting the information and how you're critiquing it, and I do really encourage you to be very respectful of other artists and authors, you can put in some information about that, and that is a form of analysis. So finally, he talks about the reflection. It's a great use of art in the classroom. The students will love it. It will be a good learning tool, and and so then he goes on to describe how it can be used and his more kind of inner thoughts about the piece, as opposed to the analysis, which actually kind of breaks apart the piece and talks about it more critically or concretely. So the reflection is your chance to say, what did you think about it? Michael does this very nicely with all 3 videos, and notice that each of his annotations fits on one page. So that's nice. It doesn't need to, but that's very nice. So visually we can see each annotation provides a whole synopsis of one resource, and then he puts it together with this very nice curation. So very well done and very simple presentation, but also super effective. I'm going to show you one other annotation and curation. This one is from Griselle, and I don't know if any of you have accessed her website, but it's actually quite beautiful. So I would encourage you to go to arietarose.com. And she has taken a very different approach with the same content. So she's included photos, and then again, the curation happens at the top. She titles it nicely, The Core of the Story. That's the topic of the curated set of videos. And for her video, she says they exemplify a strong core or theme at the heart of the narrative. As a set, the videos illustrate the issues of gender, racism, and discrimination. Viewed together, the narratives reveal how these 3 women overcame their respective obstacles in order to succeed and accomplish their goal. And then she goes on to build on that. But right away, we know that the videos are collectively looking at the core of the story. They're looking at women, and they're looking at issues of gender, racism, and discrimination. So this curation sets us up. Then she goes into each of the annotations. The first one, she includes the title here and all of the information, general information right underneath. Very nice pictures that are included, and notice that they're all credited. And then she too has this kind of 3-part approach, which is required of this assignment. So notice the summary, which I'm not going to go through each of these parts of hers, but the summary is relatively short and concise. The analysis is longer and has to do with a number of different aspects that have to do with the video. So try to think multifaceted when you're doing your analyses. And then the reflection talks at a higher level, a more meta level, and possibly also a personal level about what the video means. So those are some ideas of how to curate and annotate the videos. And you can see that she does this nicely and in sort of a parallel form for her other 2 videos. All right, so I very much encourage you to visit this website to look at your classmates' work, which is all posted in the discussion boards. You can learn a lot from reading other folks' assignments, even though I know that you're very pressed for time. And I hope that this explanation of annotation and curation has been helpful, and I'll look forward to reading your work as we move forward through the class. That's all for now. Have a great day.